All right, so this is Battle Beast. It's a new one. It's called Twilight Cabaret. This one's going to be a little different because we just got back from Finland. My wife and I went to Finland, and while we were there, we went for an amazing wedding for an amazing couple in Helsinki. And while we were there were government protests going on in the city square, in the park, right outside the government offices over by the harbor in Helsinki. Yeah. And it was really interesting to see that, they were all lining the streets and the government cars had to pass in between that area of the park to get to the parking garage. So all the protesters were out on the street, lining the streets, knowing that all the government officials had to drive by them. And Chelsea and I were wandering, we're getting coffee, we're checking out shops and museums and everything. But it was really happening in Finland at the time. It was really interesting to see that. And here's Battle Beast, a band from Finland. And here's this politician / person in front of cameras and mics doing a press conference. And it says #1 king, it says. So anyway, I have no idea what this is about. It might be about political stuff. It might be about just a kind of a interesting story. You never know with Battle Beast, okay? Battle Beast has a tendency to do a lot of songs about positivity and just great stuff. So even if this is a political type song with imagery of politics and political figures and government officials, there's going to be a tongue-in-cheek twist to it. That's what Battle Beast does. Noora and the guys do it better than anybody, and they always keep it approachable. So even if this is kind of a little tale of politics and stuff, don't worry. It's not going to get all like you're going to get fired from your job by watching this. It's not what Battle Beast does. Are you ready? Here we go. Twilight Cabaret. Battle Beast. Let's do it. Question. I didn't know this was Miami Sound Machine. Did Battle Beast go on the 70,000 tons of metal down in the Caribbean and suddenly decide that they were reggae? Some calypso style? Some little salsa? Is that what they're doing right now? But it does kind of remind me of that well-to-do vibe. So I could see that. Also a classic 80s, 90s rich people comedy, right? Rags to riches story, political satire, like The Birdcage. Oh my God. So you remember The Birdcage? Great movie with Nathan Lane and the late Robin Williams, and they owned the nightclub, the drag club down in Miami Beach. And then Gene Hackman played the senator who was like staunch conservative, and their kids got tangled up and it all got twisted around. That's what it reminds me of. And that was one of the best movies ever. What are you doing, lady? What is she up to? Those are naughty eyes. She's up to something. Do you know what she's up to? Me neither. Let's check it out. He's the politician and she's the behind the scenes person in charge, telling him all the stuff. So this is very different for Battle Beast. A little Helsinki Sound Machine. I'm totally into that, and that's fine. I'm just waiting for it to change up. Right? Yeah. Noora Estefan doing her best salsa style. I'm in. Let's keep going. okay, the salsa, Latin rhythms, funky jazz, but it's definitely that South Miami, South Florida, Miami Beach, calypso. It's not really calypso, but it is that big style. It's Miami Sound Machine was really the big band of the 80s and 90s that really took it to the mainstream. Everyone knows Gloria Estefan. That's why I keep saying stupid jokes like Helsinki Sound Machine and Noora Esteban. Look it up. It's really cool. Yeah, it's very playful. It's very playful, but it's a way of, I think I understand why they're doing this. The political corruption, the behind the scenes influence, people in power not being really the people in power, behind the scenes manipulation, those are all very dark themes, and they're very real in today's world. Every country, I don't care which country you come from, nobody's immune to that. I know I'm in the United States, the poster child of chaos, but it happens in every country. If it didn't, Chelsea and I would not have been in Finland seeing a protest in Helsinki, right? So it happens. But how do you talk about the ridiculousness of the political schmear, the political behind the scenes chaos? How do you tell a story that exposes the ridiculousness of all that stuff behind the scenes without letting it get dark? You do a video where it's all the bourgeoisie, the bureaucracy, the overindulgence of it all, and do a Latin vibe that makes it super playful. If you took the most harsh, dark, disruptively aggressive lyrics and put them to Miami Sound Machine, is it really a bad song? No, but I could take nursery rhymes and give them to Marilyn Manson, and all of a sudden we're all getting kicked off radio back in the 90s. Maybe what Battle Beast is doing here is taking something that in any other context would cause a bunch of uproar and chaos and scandal, right? And conspiracy. You play some Latin rhythms and do some salsa work and some playfulness, and you could talk about the most disruptive lyrical content, and you're disguising it as a party. It's genius. Not the first time somebody's done it, but I didn't expect it from Battle Beast. But I think another thing they're getting to do here is they're showing how many different places they can go. Do they sit in that Finnish European power metal, heavy metal, that traditional style, or do they go every direction possible? If you've seen my channel, if you go back long enough, you'll see that I did reactions to Noora Louhimo visiting the guys in Steven Seagal's back in the middle of nowhere, and they're doing acoustic renditions of songs in almost a bluegrass country style, and Noora's just blowing it out the water. The band can do anything. Are they metal? Yes. Does that mean that they're stuck only in that? No. And the lyrical content may not be best served as a metal song because people are going to associate metal with conflict and the subject matter of what's being said. Maybe we don't want to show conflict. Maybe we want to use comedy and lighthearted salsa vibes and use that as the vehicle to bring home a conversation about something that makes people go, huh, I've been jamming out and swinging my hips to this Noora Louhimo Battle Beast song, and then I read the lyrics and now I'm all messed up in my head. It's so genius. Totally makes sense now. That happens a lot, by the way. This is not some kind of fantastical story that they're telling that hasn't happened 1,000 times throughout history, going all the way back to ancient times, ancient empires, the Egyptian pharaohs, the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, the Byzantines. You name the major political movement going all the way back to ancient times. Stories of behind the scenes intrigue, influence, betrayal, right? It goes all the way back to ancient Egypt, Greece, and Julius Caesar being stabbed in the back in the Roman Senate. I mean, but here she is. She's the power behind the figurehead. The figurehead drops his guard, thinks that everything is fine, doesn't watch his back, and doesn't realize that the whole time he's being played by the person who's bringing him to the party. And then at the end, she takes it all. So, yeah, I think this is an amazing story to be told. I didn't expect this. I saw the imagery. I saw the thumbnail. I knew that it was Battle Beast. I figured it was some kind of political intrigue. I think the only thing that I was not prepared for was Noora, Estefan, and Helsinki Sound Machine. I think that was the one thing about this I was not ready for. And it was perfect. I loved every second of that. So there you go. Brand new Battle Beast. Political intrigue, but more like The Birdcage. Still one of the greatest movies ever made. Please, if you've never seen The Birdcage, you gotta watch it. For no other reason than it's just well done. And it's a party the whole way through. All right, everybody, I gotta go. I gotta go take a bath. Bye. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right over there. A big thank you to all my Patreons out there for everything you do. And if you want more content like this, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this smoke ball together. We'll see you later.